And joining us right now, probably the busiest guy in Iowa. We got the congressman coming up here in just a moment. Congressman Ron Paul, he was just on Good Morning America, so they're probably taking some of the makeup off of the congressman.
And he is preparing to head to New Hampshire very shortly to join the other front runners.
Congressman Ron Paul with us right now. Congressman, congratulations on the finish in Iowa.
Thank you very much. It was a nice evening. We had a lot of fun.
I'll bet you sound, I've talked to you so many times, but today you sound like you're pretty excited. Probably not a lot of sleep last night, I would imagine.
No, not much. We had a few interviews this morning, and I'm trying to take a break and get a day off and come to Texas. Maybe that's why I'm excited. I get to come to Texas.
Good for you. Well, we'll talk about somebody else that appears to be coming to Texas here in just a second. But I want to congratulate you. 22% of the vote in Iowa yesterday. We found out late last night who the winners were. All right, so you said last night you got one of the 3 tickets out of Iowa. And you also said that one of the 2 that can actually run a national campaign and raise the money. Is that a shot at Santorum?
Well, I don't know whether you call it a shot, but I guess it is. But he hasn't had the money or the organization, so I think the dynamics up here, allowed them to put some votes together because they did rally around him at the last minute. And I think, Michelle Bachmann's decline certainly helped him. But it wasn't because he had a strong organization. Matter of fact, his crowds were very, very small. But the dynamics were such that he did come in, essentially tied for first place. But I don't know how he could continue with that when you do need volunteers and you do need some money, to run these campaigns. We'll have to wait and see.
Congressman, I think one of the things that confused many of us voters yesterday, did you indicate that you could not see yourself in the White House?
Well, I think they misconstrued that a little bit. The question really came up whether or not I was in this just to promote a cause. And, I acknowledge that I am. That's what I've been doing for 30-some years. I do have a cause. But the whole point is, and they took that out of context and they forgot about the other thing. And I said the best way to promote a cause is to win elections. Mm-hmm. So, yes, having a cause and changing direction and encouraging young people to look at our traditions and our Constitution, that is very, very important and may well be my overriding concern. But the best way to deal with that is to have success. So I think you have to look at both of those together.
Congressman, as we look at the top 3 finishers in Iowa, we see Romney, 8 votes between Romney and Santorum, and then you very close behind. Let me ask you this question. Do we see a split party for the Republicans? I mean, is this a party that is in flux and not really sure of where it stands? Could there be a delegate battle somewhere down the line here, do you think?
Yeah, I think so, because nobody is coalescing around, Mitt Romney. He still has a way to go. But one encouraging detail from the election last night was when you looked at my votes, half of them came from people who considered themselves very conservative, and the other half considered themselves very moderate. And that goes along with my argument that if you have a freedom message and a constitutional message, it is not divisive and you don't polarize, because you can bring people together who have different viewpoints. For instance, you get to spend your money the way you want. You don't have to be told. Mm-hmm. You get to run your life as you want. But it certainly is appealing to those who think that we're overdoing things overseas.
And yet, let's talk about overseas for just a moment, because your position on Iran may be one of the key issues that does worry voters. How do you embrace folks who are concerned about Iran, Israel, and where you stand?
Well, I think that's interesting, because some of my strongest argument for my position comes from the leadership in Israel, because the Mossad leaders in Israel now are saying, hey, hold back, be careful, that even if Iran got a nuclear weapon, it would not be an existential threat to Israel. I don't want them to have a weapon. I don't imagine anybody wants them to get a weapon. We need a lot less weapons, not more. Mm-hmm. But if we were able to contain the Soviets with 30,000, I think that we should be more cautious about going to war in a country that doesn't even have a weapon. And our CIA and the UN does not say that they're on the verge of having one. But it is a concern, and we should know about it, but we shouldn't think that we have to go to war. And that's what Israel now is worrying about, jumping into war carelessly. So the the leadership in Israel now is split on this issue, and when you see the leadership of Mossad more or less agreeing with me to be more cautious, then I think people should pay attention.
Congressman, I just want to mention here quickly, I know we got to let you go. Michelle Bachmann, just as you were talking there, has announced she will not be going to South Carolina. There's a press conference at 10 o'clock. I don't know if you were aware of that or not.
No, that's news for me.
All right.
I got some news from your station.
All right, so there you go. I just wanted to make sure you got a little something from me, because I appreciate what you do for us. And, of course, Governor Perry will be making an announcement, we think, sometime this week that possibly he is maybe not continuing with his presidential bid as well. Listen, I want to wish you all the best. We disagree on some issues, but you certainly are making Texans proud. Come home, get a little rest before New Hampshire, and we look forward to having you on a lot more before November.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
Talk to you later.
There you have it.
Congressman
Ron Paul joining us here this morning.